So today I'm talking to you about cot to bed transition for your little one. So we just did this with Rose at the end of last year, so I wanted to do a video just on tips and just to share with you what worked for us in case you're at that stage with your little one. Now with Rose, we actually kept her in a cot until she was 3 years old. We wanted to keep her in a cot for as long as we could. Timing is absolutely everything with the whole transition into a big girl bed, and it worked for us and it worked for her. We aimed to do the transition for when she was 3, and that was suitable for her as well. It got to the point about a month before her 3rd birthday where she started waking herself up in her cot because she was obviously getting bigger and the cot was not expanding, so she kept waking herself up because she's such a fidget bum in bed, so of course she kept knocking the side and waking herself up within the night. So it worked out perfectly for her and it really worked out good for us as well. One of the reasons why we kept it in her cot for as long as possible was that we decided that we were going to miss the toddler bed altogether. So instead of bringing her out of a cot and putting her in a toddler bed, we decided to go straight for a single bed. We thought we'll keep her in her cot for as long as possible and then go straight into a single bed, because we knew that giving her a toddler bed now wouldn't last very long. She might have it maybe for a year, 2 years at the most. So we decided to spend a little bit more money on a fun single bed for her, and that has worked really well for our family. Another thing that we actually did for Rose when she turned 2 was we actually got her a cot pillow and a cot duvet. So while she was in her cot for the last year, she was used to having a pillow and she was used to having a duvet. This meant that when she went into a single bed, it wasn't completely alien to her. She was used to having a duvet over her and she was used to having a pillow. Now with Rose's bedtime routine, we have kept it exactly the same as it was when she was in her cot. It is very important that you try and keep everything the same so that it's just the bed that's changing. It's still the same sleep time routine, it's still the same as when you were in your cot than as it is when you're in a big girl bed or a big boy bed. Now another thing that is highly recommended, I have read multiple times, is that you put their new bed where their cot currently is in their bedroom. That way then they associate that part of their room as the sleep zone, so they understand that that is where they go to sleep. Now with Rose, we actually completely, utterly ignored that. Well, we didn't ignore it, but we actually decided for us as a family that we would move her into another room in the house, because the bedroom that she is in is perfect as a nursery room and we hope to have a second baby at some point in the future. It's the room right next to ours, so obviously it's ideal, and also there's a section in there above the stairs that's actually kitted out and perfect height for a nappy changing station, which means obviously we don't have to buy a changing station. So it's just perfect that that be a nursery room, and we've then moved her into another room which is a full-on big girl bedroom for her. Now also what we did was we made a big thing. We completely kitted it out for her and we almost did it as a birthday present. We put wrapping paper on the door, so she opened it up and it was all, you know, amazing and I'm a big girl now. So we made it a big thing, which is what she liked as well. It made it that extra special. And she has done really, really well considering that she's moved room and of course has a new bed. So the first few weeks of Rose being in her new big bed, she slept brilliantly. She really did exactly the same as if she was in her cot. She slept through the night with absolutely no problems. And I was honestly surprised because I thought we'd have some more hiccups than we did. Now, after about 3 or 4 weeks, she did all of a sudden start waking up in the middle of the night, super frightened. We're not sure what the reason was, whether it was because of her new bed, her new bedroom, or nightmares, we are not sure. Now, her bedroom is pitch black, or certainly was pitch black, but when she was in her nursery room it was exactly the same. We would leave her nightlight on until she had fallen asleep, then we'd turn it off and then it would be pitch black until the morning. We did the exact same thing in her big girl bedroom, but she didn't like that. So we started off keeping her nightlight on all night, which didn't help. She ended up having a couple of nights actually with us. At that point, obviously, we knew we had to try and do something different because, of course, we didn't want to get into the habit of her waking up, coming into Mummy and Daddy's bed and then sleeping with us for the rest of the night. So what we did is we actually started putting on our hallway light. This is something that my mum did when I was little, and it's also something that my husband's parents did as well, is they just had the light on all night in case obviously you need bathroom breaks or anything. So we did the exact same here and it was an instant fix. I'm not sure what it was about it. I'm not sure whether she just felt safer knowing that the light was on, knowing that mummy and daddy were near. I'm not sure, but it helped so much. So that is what we now do at the moment, is we keep the hallway light on all night, and that has worked wonders. Now, after a couple of weeks of going back to normal and sleeping through the night, Rose started to wake up super early. And when I say super early, 5 o'clock in the morning, which was just too early. She did this for about a week, and I knew that I had to do something just to teach her that you need to sleep a little bit longer. Now she's in a big girl bed. She has that independence of getting out of bed, doing what she wants almost in her big girl bedroom. So of course I needed to teach her that no, it's bedtime, this is the time to sleep. So after a bit of research, I actually found a night light that almost acted as a clock, and it's called a Gro Clock. I will insert a picture here for you so you can see it, and I will link it down in the description below. But this is brilliant. Basically what it has is it has a picture of the sun, and what you do is you press the button to activate it. The sun then falls asleep and then awakens the star, which is ready for bedtime. Rose loves this. She loves saying goodnight to the sun, and then as soon as the star appears, she goes, "Oh, it's bedtime, mummy," and of course she gets into bed. And then you set the time that what suits you. So we've set it at 7 o'clock. So at 7 o'clock in the morning, the star will disappear, and the sun will wake up, and that means morning. So Rose now is waiting for the sun to awake, and every morning she goes, "Mummy, mummy, mummy, the sun's awake. It means it's morning." And it's brilliant, it really is. So that is a great tool if you are finding that your little one is waking up too early, now they're in a big girl bed or a big boy bed, then this Gro Clock is absolutely perfect. It teaches them when it's nighttime, and then it teaches them when it's morning, so that is the time that you can now get out of bed and you can come find mummy and daddy, or you can obviously start reading some books or whatever it is that you decide to do, if you want them to stay in their room or not. So that has been a great tool, and since then it has been plain sailing, and it has been wonderful, especially now that Rose has decided that she doesn't want naps anymore. We are now in the transition of not having any naps, so she is sleeping really well at night and falling asleep really quickly as well. So this is great news for us. And now that she's sleeping through the night, and now she's waking up at 7 o'clock in the morning because of this clock, it means that she's getting a really good night's sleep. We found that because she's refusing her naps and she was waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning, she was really overtired, really over emotional, ratty, and it just wasn't fun at all for anybody. And of course she kept refusing a nap. She wouldn't have a nap, and I just knew that she needed a decent night's sleep, or a decent nap at least. So now that we've got this clock, it means that she's actually having a decent night's sleep. She falls asleep around 7 o'clock, and then she wakes up at 7 o'clock. And now she wakes up refreshed, ready for the day ahead, which is just what we want. It's so much nicer now that she's having a really good night's sleep. So overall, Rose did really well with the whole cot to bed transition. We made it a big thing. She's turned into a big girl, so of course they really like that, especially at the age of 3, because they love having their independence. So that's why we decided to wait that little bit longer to do the whole transition. And there was hiccups in the end, and we did fix them. It's all about trial and error, but just try and keep it simple, trying to keep some sort of routine. The routine before her going to bed with the whole bath and the books stayed the same, and it's still exactly the same now. We've just tweaked it a little bit with the whole saying goodnight to the sun, knowing when it's bedtime, and she has done really, really well. So that is it for today's video. That is what we did. I hope that this video was useful. I hope it gave you some ideas for when you do it, or if you're having any problems, I hope it might give you some solutions as well. If you did like this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new. Thanks for watching.